It's going to be tips of the day to start with. I've got a couple here that I'd like to kind of review with you. If you need to find a particular contact, is there a way you can search your contacts to find somebody? And the answer to that question, of course, is yes, you can. So I'm going to share my screen. And let's go to my phone. We'll do it on the phone. There. If I go to my contacts, whoa,
You're doing other contents, is it?
that doesn't look good, does it? Oh,
There you go.
Let me wait there a minute. And let's go to all my contacts. And there's a little search bar there at the top. If you tap the search bar and you're I'm looking for Bill, there's all the bills I have, and there's Bill Kelleher. Just it'll come up in a minute. There it is. And you see, there's all the bills I have, and there's Bill Kelleher, for example. And if you ask me why I have multiple Bill Crows there, it's because I demonstrate how to put in your name. So I've put it in multiple times. I can check my bill balance. Did you get the idea? That's a nice, easy tip if you're
Yep.
hunting for a particular person.
Yep, I know that one.
And I always look at all my contacts because my wife and I share our contacts.
Bill, I have a question. It's
Go ahead.
Ann. I have multiple people in my contacts. I was told never to delete them. Why?
Okay, there may be duplicates. See where it says duplicates on mine? Since I have 4 duplicates
Mhm.
right here. If I, it, the reason not to delete one would be you may have information in one that you don't have in another. And so therefore the combination is what you would like. So I'm going to go view duplicates, and there's Anda several times. If I tap that one, I can say merge them. And so if I merge them, I'm taking any information I have on one that I don't have on the other and adding it. So
Oh,
the
okay, yeah, that's a good.
final version will be a combination of both. Okay.
Okay, that gets rid of a lot of andas, but what if you know that there are people that, for instance, have passed on, or that you don't really want to be in touch with anymore?
Well,
Or
that's
an insurance company or something? What, I mean, don't,
yeah.
isn't it okay to get rid of them?
Yeah, I'm going to get rid of them. Just a minute. I'm going to merge that one. Well, now I'm down to a couple Bill Crows all over the place. I'll leave that alone. Okay. Let's go down here to find somebody I don't know. There's Bruce Beers. Him right here. You can delete him. I mean, if you if it's somebody you really don't want in your contacts list, you tap it. Got the wrong one. You tap it, you scroll down to the bottom. I'm sorry, you tap edit. So you
First, yeah.
tap edit at the top, and then you scroll to the bottom and it says delete that contact. Okay,
Bill, I have a question.
please.
Related to when you delete a particular email of somebody because it's no longer valid, it still pops up under, options when you start typing them into this, to start an email, either on all of my Apple devices. Is that unique to Apple? They just don't let you get rid of something? Do you understand my problem?
I'm trying to, when you're typing in, what are you typing in?
So I'm starting, I'm starting an email to someone and I'll start an email PAM and it will come up with all the PAMs. And it comes up with all of my addresses that I may or may not have, that I may have actually eliminated because they're no longer valid addresses. And I find, like, for some of my friends who've had to change, who've changed their email addresses, especially those that have eliminated them because of being hacked.
Mhm.
For some reason, Apple just doesn't allow me to get rid of those old addresses. I mean, they're not in my contacts anymore.
Yeah,
In any of
yeah.
the contact lists I have, and they're supposed to be merged, but I check them all. It's a very odd thing.
But you used that address in the mail program before.
In the past, correct?
And that's why it's doing that. And I don't know where that particular one is.
Hmm.
So, hey, Bill, we have our first challenge for the day.
All right.
Excuse me.
You understand the question?
No,
I don't
I-
either.
It comes up with names that I've sent emails to in the past whenever I
Oh.
start typing. And is there a way to get rid of some of those emails, even though they're not in your contacts?
I think what it is there's a switch in settings that has
Okay.
it's allowing Siri to make suggestions.
And that would be in messages or in mail or somewhere else.
I think it's in Siri.
There a Siri?
Siri and search, and I know where you're going.
For me, I don't usually use Siri. This
I
is
know, but
simply,
Siri's still doing some things
okay.
behind the scenes.
You have it says show suggestions.
Yeah. And what somebody would have to do is try that out and see if
Yeah.
you get a reduced list. So you turn that
Bill,
off. Go ahead.
Bill, I'm doing a new message to somebody that I know is not in my contacts anymore.
And you
But it's
turned off.
still
Go ahead.
right. It still brings up the name. When you scroll down on that name all the way on the bottom, it says remove from recents, and then you won't see it anymore.
No,
Ooh.
see, I answered your own. Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Hmm.
And they're totally gone.
Okay. All right. Any other questions and before I go on, or you want, that was a good one. That was a good one.
I have a question.
Please.
I understand from the people who don't use Apple, that there's wonderful things going on with AI that Apple hasn't done yet. And that we don't get much, and they're working on it, but it's coming soon. Can you give us an update on AI coming to Apple?
What do we need that for?
There was a big conference this week with Apple, and that was one of their main focuses, is they're enhancing Siri to be more AI-like. I didn't get the time frame when it would be done, but I'm sure it'll phase in over time. So Siri should be getting smarter. Okay, in terms of whenever you ask it a question, it becomes more AI-like. And perhaps, let's see if he's here.
Yeah. I think also they were talking about doing it in iOS 18, which should be coming out in the fall probably. This was the developers conference this week.
Yep, thank you, Bill. I didn't get the date, so
And I
There
believe
are-
it was, I believe it
Go
was
ahead.
also only for certain iPhones, starting with iOS 4, starting with 14 or 15 going forward. They
The
weren't going
full
to put,
capability wasn't going to be available in you needed to have at least iOS 15 and you needed an iPad with at least an M1 processor in it.
iOS 15 or iPhone 15.
iPhone 15, iOS 18.
Okay,
But
so therefore
only
we
on
all have
the,
to go out and buy new phones.
yeah, well, yes and no. The iPhones, it's only the ones that have the M chip in it. So it's, I think, I can't remember what the names were. It's a Pro and there's another one, but not all of the 15s will be able to do the AI. But what I'm reading is that the iOS 18 will be an update, but not all of the things with AI you're going to be able to do on only the items that have the M chip in them.
is there, Huey, is there a graduated AI capability?
I'm not sure how they're going to do that. I
Yeah.
did post an article. I think I might have put it on the Stug Facebook as well, that lists all of the phones that will be able to be updated and iPads that will be able to be updated to the iOS 18, but not all of the AI stuff will be available to everybody.
You know, for those us less knowledgeable about AI, it's apparently, and you can explain this better than I perhaps, there's a graduated AI capabilities. You know, it's like a high school degree, college degree, doctorate degree in AI. What kind of capabilities are, can you give, can you define that delineation, if you will?
They
I'm
weren't
sorry
very
to keep on the
specific.
spot.
They weren't very specific on it, and a lot of it is coming later in the fall and after the first of the year. So they made a big to do about it, but it's not going to really be around for several months. And by then we'll have some more ideas of what will work, what won't work, and what how you can use it.
So I didn't, if you have AI, I thought you had AI, but not necessarily. There's more complex AI, I guess, is what
Yeah,
I was
they're
trying.
calling it Apple intelligence instead of artificial intelligence. Uh,
Well, that's not to be unexpected.
yes.
Okay,
So at this time,
question,
I
Frank?
would I would suggest don't worry about it and wait till it comes out. And if it's something that sounds like it's important to you, then you may have to buy a new phone or a new iPad. I have a 9th generation iPad and it will not do the AI, but it's my understanding that it will do some of the updates in the iOS 18.
Hmm.
I was trying to get at what will doing some of the AI mean? And I guess
I
we'll
have,
have to wait to find out, right?
yes, yep.
Okay. 12 warning signs. It's time for a new cell phone. Speaking of that, first warning sign would be if your iPhone drains quickly, your battery drains too quickly. So if it doesn't last all day, it certainly means your iPhone is not performing as well as it used to and probably should be replaced. You can check that on your phone, by the way, to get an idea. If you go to settings, and in the settings menu, you tap battery.
Your pills, huh?
So I'm going to settings, and I went to battery, and I tap battery health. And the little thing there, it says maximum capacity. And many people think that that means what that means is your battery is fully charged. That's not what this means. This means it's capable, its full charge is 100% of what it used to be. If that, in most of our phones, that's number starts going down, even though you have 100% charge in your battery, that number starts going down, letting you know that the capability of your battery, even at full charge, is 82% of what it used to be. When it gets into the 70 range, you should probably be looking at getting a new phone.
Stupid question, but you can't replace the battery?
I believe some people were telling me that it is replaceable, and they told me the battery shops, the ones that replace your car battery, for example, do that kind of thing. I haven't seen that, but it can be replaced. Yes, it can be replaced, but the cost is usually maybe more than you want to spend.
Okay.
It's usually around $75.
Yeah. Have you heard of anybody doing it? Matt Huey at the battery shop, Batteries Plus?
Yeah, you
Um,
break and we fix, does it?
Yeah, any of those. I'm quite sure that they get a kit that they can replace it, and it just makes it very easy for them to do it. I am not sure how uh, Apple treats third-party batteries, so you might want to even think about taking it to the Apple store, and then I think it's about $100, between 75 and $100 there.
It's 100 plus or minus.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's another one, you break and we fix, that does it for $100.
yeah.
Okay. You've had that done?
No, but I had a friend that had it done, it cost him $100.
And worked fine?
It's on University, you mean the store?
Yeah. No, I meant it worked. Everything seemed to be good. He was satisfied with the result.
He was
If you're
happy with
making
it.
go ahead. If you're making a phone call, one of the other things you can tell about your phone, if you're making a phone call and no one can understand you.
Could be too
I'm
many
not talking about you
Manhattans
had a
too.
bad night. All right. Your phone is a 3G or VoLTE kind of phone capable. It's probably time to get a new one.
How do we know that?
At the top of your screen, it many of the phones tell you what your phone's capable of. Is there a setting for that? Is there more information on that? If you go to settings cellular, I haven't seen, like, does your phone say LTE at the top or 4G or something like that?
At the top of what?
At the top of the bar up here?
Hmm.
No, mine says Verizon and the time
Yours says,
and the battery charge.
does it say Verizon LTE or anything like that?
No, just Verizon.
Yeah. I'm just reading the right up here, just a second.
Bill, when I shut off, my phone is on Wi-Fi. When I shut Wi-Fi off, it says 5G where the Wi-Fi symbol used to be.
Thank you, Bill. That's excellent. So
Off,
I'm gonna go.
off.
No, I can't do that. And you'll lose my screen. But you hear what he said? You go into your phone settings and you go to Wi-Fi and you turn off Wi-Fi.
Settings. Oh. Cellular Wi-Fi calling off.
No, right at the,
Oh.
when you tap, go to Wi-Fi, first thing there is Wi-Fi green, turn that off.
Okay.
Are you
Yeah, that
suggesting that we
mine
do?
says LTE. You're right. Is that bad?
Uh, you're right on the edge, right?
On the edge of, I forgot the topic now.
Time for a new phone.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
You know the model of your phone?
I thought it was an SE12 or a 12 SE.
If you go to settings, general, and about, it should give you the version of your phone right now, you know, the model
Yeah.
name.
Says iPhone SE.
And does it tell you which one? Series one, two, or three?
No, just says iPhone SE.
Yeah. The other thing you can do, you see where the letters MTM43 is on my screen? If you tap that, it gives you an A number,
Yeah, got that.
A2846. If you tap that number, type that number into Google, for example, with the word Apple, say Apple A2846, in my case, it will tell you the model you have.
Okay.
A2846, so let me do that.
You tap A2846, Bill?
That's the one I have.
Now, an 8.
Mine says second generation.
Okay, you're probably pretty good shape. Second
Okay.
gen.
When I tapped it, Bill, I came up with a new number under model number that is MLA43LA
No,
slash
you don't.
A.
I'm sorry. Once you get the A number, you write that down and then you type that into a Google search. And it comes up and tells you the phone you have. If another reason you might want to consider a phone, your touch screen is glitching. In other words, it's sparking at you. It's not a smooth view. It randomly restarts on you. The big one here is when you go to update the operating system, you're not capable of doing that. So in my case, I have 17.5.1. I think that's the most recent. I'm not sure. Let me go back and I'm going to try to do a software update, and it says my phone is up to date. Now, if that up to date says something less, that in this case 17.5.1, then your phone is not capable of accepting the new operating systems.
Yeah, that might be.
Bill, would you please go back on how did you get to the software update point?
Where, okay,
Well, your screen
went-
shows, okay, so you're in.
I went to settings and general, and I tapped on software update.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Okay, mine's updated.
Thank you very much.
Oh, you're having trouble with the camera. Less than brilliant colors, for example. Um, if it looks like your your phone's been dropped off the Ferris wheel, you have significant good corner damage, in addition to a broken screen, for example. You have pixels on your phone that are dark or black, so portions of the screen don't produce a color anymore. You never have enough storage. Remember, you cannot increase the amount of storage you have on your device. So if you go to again to settings, you go to settings, general, and you see where it says iPhone storage there? And that would be right here. If you tap that, and you're always the filled in area of the bar chart is clear up here at the top, and no matter what you do, you've deleted as many photos as you can. You got rid of your music, you got rid of the applications you wanted to, and it's still up here. It's probably time you get a phone with some more storage. On the iPhones, you cannot add more storage. If you're plugging in if you have a series of plug-in headphones and you have to wiggle them, wiggle the cord to get the headphones to work, probably time for a new iPhone.
I've had that problem, but it turned out that the Apple Store was able to clean out the connection and then the problem stopped. Where
Okay.
the things plug in, so. Yeah, if you're wiggling it so that your connector's loose, you should replace it, but it could also be a cleaning problem.
Could be.
And also I had a bad, earbuds that weren't
Yep.
working.
Yeah, that cord could be I'd run through those couple of things first, I guess, before I got a new phone, especially if it's a relatively new one. Unfortunately, I don't. Just a minute. One of you sent in a question about QR reader, the QR code. And unfortunately, I don't have anything on my desk. Wait a minute, I may, hold on. I don't have anything in here. It has a QR code on it. If you open up your camera, well, if you go to, there's a way in which you can use your camera to pick up QR codes.
It does
And
it,
a
mine does it
QR code,
automatically.
I'm going to get there. Um, you should go to settings and camera. And there's a setting in there. And it's right here. It says scan QR codes. So make sure that's turned on. Once you've turned that on, then you can open up the camera, Kate. All right. And you can just put your phone over the QR code. A QR code is a website. It's a web address let's call it encoded. Okay, so you put your phone over it and a little yellow bar will appear at the bottom and you tap it. Unfortunately, I don't have a QR code laying within arm's length. I was going to get one. There are usually some in the paper. Okay. So it's pretty easy to do.
Bill,
And you just put it over there. It focus in on it. And then you just tap the yellow bar and it takes you to whatever website it was trying to encode it to go to. The second thing about that is, for example, you could have one of these. This is a barcode. There are apps that will read the barcode. And let me go to my camera apps here. Barcode reader.
Here's some information.
I didn't want that one. There it is. QR reader. Now watch. If I put my phone over that guy, okay. By the way, what I'm doing, let me go back to the camera here. Let's assume I want some more of these. There's a barcode down here. And if I pull up a particular app, and I put it over that, it comes up and says shopping. There's the identification information, and I can go to Google Shopping or Amazon. I'll go to Amazon. And hopefully I can get by this. Open. I'm going to give me that ad. Nope. Let me try that again. Camera, QR reader. I go to Amazon. I don't want this guy. Because something went wrong on their end, so we'll go to Google Shopping. And there they are. I could go to Walmart. Service not available. How about eBay? Oh, I can buy them on eBay too? Yep, there they are. I was in Barnes and Noble looking at a book. I did this and I found I could get the book less expensively somewhere else, for example. The name of that app, for example, the name of that particular app was QR Reader. Okay.
Bill? I have a
Yes.
question. I have a question about security with QR codes. I've been warned about being careful, but I can't figure out how to be careful other than just simply choosing barcodes that I think might be okay. Is there anything else you could add to that?
I know what you mean. It does show you where it's going. It actually shows you the address it's going to, but I don't have an answer for that one. Bill or Huey, do you have an answer?
To be
Go ahead,
careful
Bill.
where you're getting it from. If it's in an email, it could be factual, but it could be a junk email that's trying to bait you into going to a wrong place. So just be very hesitant before you click on a QR code that's from somebody either you don't know or you're not sure whether the email is actually from the company that's doing it.
Okay, that's very helpful. Thanks.
The
And
other
Probably the
thing
ones-
about sorry, Bill.
I said probably the ones in the newspaper are okay.
And Bill, are you suggesting that we get QR reader and scanner?
No, that's so you can read barcodes as well.
I
You
know,
don't
but
need
there,
it QR codes.
well, I've got it up here and it says QR reader and I guess scanner. And should I get it? It's rated
You-
5.0.
Oh, they're not. Is it a cost involved? I hope not.
I,
I-
no, I don't know. They don't tell you that. If they tell you to
But if
double.
the cost involved, you'd know.
What do I do?
Or
How do
you
you
will,
find out if there's a cost?
mine says get, so that
Um,
that usually means there's not one.
Yeah.
Well,
If-
mine says
if it
get,
says-
too, but that doesn't mean that it won't pay for it. Does
Yeah, it
it?
does.
Yes,
If it just says get,
Yes.
it doesn't cost you to get it.
Oh, thank you.
But I started using that one originally, but now since the phone has been added to that, the camera's been added to the QR, I usually just use the camera. But if you also want to read barcodes, then you want to be able to get the QR reader.
Way in which I used barcodes is if I'm shopping for a particular item in a store, I take a picture of the barcode and it goes to and gives me the information. So when I go home, then I can research that item and maybe find a place where it's cheaper or find other models that would be able to be compared to it. I might be able to find something similar to it, but much cheaper.
All
Those are all
great
good.
information. Thank you, Bill. And
Yeah, thank you.
One of us asked a question about traveling out of country with your phones and what should you do? And I found a nice YouTube video that I'd like to play for you now that I think will help you with that. And I think I need to do a different share screen, so hold on a minute, please. Are you looking at my home screen there with all the icons?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Sasha Segan from PCMag.com. Summer travel season is here, so you are probably wondering about how to travel abroad with your
Everybody hear that?
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, yes.
cell phone, especially if you haven't done it before or you haven't done it in a while. Well, I've been traveling abroad with cell phones for decades now, and I can tell you that it is much, much easier than it used to be. When I first started flying abroad using a phone, it was the early 2000s, and very often US phones would not work in Europe or Asia at all. In fact, you had to rent a different handset, and you would use that handset overseas and then use your phone at home. These things aren't true anymore. Almost all American mobile phones now work all around the world. One of the keys is to have the phone unlocked. I'll get to that. But first, there's something that's even more convenient. Your mobile phone plan has a really good chance of just including some international roaming for free. Now, that may include relatively low cost but still by the minute calls or free calls, and slow but free data. Call your carrier and find out before you invest in anything else. Now, your carrier may also have roaming day passes that it sells. In general, what this means is that for $10 a day, you will get unlimited calls, unlimited texts, and data just like you're at home. For a short trip with relatively few phones, that can be an affordable choice. If you're taking a longer trip, or you have a whole bunch of lines that you need to transfer, those numbers can add up really quickly, and it's much less affordable. Now, if your plan doesn't include free international roaming, and the day passes don't work out for you, you have some other options. The key is to have an unlocked phone. That means your phone is not locked to only performing on your US carrier. Now, the good news is that by law, all the carriers now need to give you unlock codes, automatically unlock their phones, or unlock their phones remotely by request. What you need to do is call your carrier and ask them if your phone is unlocked for international travel. If not, have them unlock it. They're required to do so. Once you have an unlocked phone, there's a couple of low-cost ways that you can make international calls. I mean, calls when you're overseas, not international calls outbound from the US. If you have a recent iPhone, you probably have the option for dual SIM with eSIM. This is a really convenient way to get yourself a foreign phone plan without having to fiddle with physical SIM cards. What you can do is you can go to a mobile phone store in your destination country. Generally, they'll have some sort of prepaid phone plan that is geared towards tourists. They will give you a piece of paper with a QR code on it. You will be able to go into your iPhone settings, scan the QR code, and then you'll have a local phone plan in the other country. Now, that'll give you a local phone number. It'll also give you calls and data at much lower rates than you would get by otherwise internationally roaming. The advantage of iPhone dual SIM with eSIM is that you have the foreign line, but you also have your existing US line active at the same time. That means you won't miss any texts from home, and you won't miss any calls from home. Dual SIM with eSIM lets you have the best of both worlds. Now, if you don't have a dual SIM or dual SIM eSIM compatible phone, and you do want to use a lot of data or have really cheap local calls, you probably need to get a local SIM card. The good news is a lot of those nowadays are just sold in the airport at your destination. Look around for a vending machine, find something with a reasonable price, and the prices that you're going to pay on calls and data are much less than you would pay probably even for one of those day passes that you would buy from your carrier. When you get that, you swap the SIM card out of your phone, you put the local SIM card in, and you're on the local network. Now, the downside on that, you're not going to be getting any of the calls or texts on your home number that you would with your home SIM card in your phone. If this feels too inconvenient for you, just pay for your carrier's day pass. So, staying connected while you're traveling abroad is a lot easier than it used to be. Your phone probably works in your destination country. For a little bit of money, you can almost certainly get a day pass or a service plan that allows you to have service on your existing number. If you're a little more frugal and more adventurous, you can buy a local SIM card, which will give you lower data rates and will work in your phone. So you don't need to worry about staying connected. Have a great trip.
One other comment on that,
Go for it.
I was traveling on business, and I sometimes didn't want. I was in multiple countries, and so I didn't want to have multiple SIMs and whatever. But I could basically, when I was in the company, I was on Wi-Fi. When I was in the hotel, I was on Wi-Fi. So I would just shut the cellular off and use the Wi-Fi calling if I could limit myself to the hotel and the office where I was working. The one downside of that is you don't have cellular capability when you're just roaming around.
So you hear what he said? Go ahead. He turned on Wi-Fi calling, is that correct?
I had Wi-Fi calling and I turned off cellular when I was in the foreign country because the cellular calls were very expensive.
I've done that
for years as well.
So he turned off the AT&T cellular I have, and then went to Wi-Fi calling. Where's that one?
That's in your next block.
Yeah,
Second
second
one.
one down.
Wi-Fi
under
calling right there,
AT&T.
and Wi-Fi calling. Any questions on traveling with your phone out of country?
Bill, that was very helpful for me. I was the one who asked one of those questions. And particularly, I also learned from the information you gave earlier today that I have a second generation SE. So I can use, there's actually a place on my phone to add an eSIM, which I
Yep.
hadn't seen before. So that's wonderful. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for asking. Synchronizing your
There's
email.
also
What?
vendors that, and I think it's Go For Me or something like that, which incorporates all that. In other words, what it is it has contracts with a different country's services. And so you pay, you give the companies a certain amount of money, and then it'll work off that money, and it'll work the same way as you have a different SIM cards, but you don't have to have the different SIM cards at that time. And if I'll get that name and give it to you, Bill, so you can include it in your summary if you'd like.
Sure. Why don't you just send me
I'll send you an email. I don't have it right in front of me now. Go figure. I'm old. So at any rate, that might be an option. That might be a little different option instead of doing your own carrier, which is expensive. And I know that's a possibility. And the other is you get different SIM cards. So that's a third. This is a third way of doing it. And one of my friends does that routinely, and that's what she relies on. And of course, you want to, when you do your, oh, never mind. Well, I would just say when you use Wi-Fi in your hotels, make sure you have a data blocker of some sort on it, etc. Because those are hackable. Anyway, that's beside the point. You guys know all this stuff anyway.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of seniors, they have a new GPS system out now. It's for seniors. It not only tells you how to get to somewhere, but it also tells you what you need to get when you you forgot why you went there. That makes sense?
It doesn't tell you where to go, huh?
Tells you well, it tells you where to go, but then it also tells you why you went there. Okay.
I have a quick question, Bill. You know, when you're on a
Please.
phone, when you're on a phone call with the iPhone and you talk for a while and then you want to hang up and disconnect the call, and then you've got a totally different screen. How do you disconnect that call? When a lot of times another person will, but the person you're talking to, but a lot of times they don't. So here you are, you're listening to them talk and you can't get it off.
You can't figure out how to hang up because
No, it's the weirdest thing.
Okay. Bill, could you call me? We'll start the
Sure.
process here.
Bill Kelleher.
I'm going to answer on my phone. Okay. Hi, Bill. Now I can hear you, but they can't. That's okay.
We heard you.
So I'm on a phone call with Bill. Try saying something, Bill, again.
I'm still here.
Okay. He said he's still here. And he says, are you available on the 15th for us to do a video call? And so, or the 18th. So I tap my calendar there. And I check what's on the 18th. I said, no, I'm free all day. And I schedule something. And he says, okay. And then he hangs up. Or no, and then he says goodbye and he doesn't hang up. Couple of things you can do. You can pull up from the bottom to show the apps that are running. And right here's the phone call we've got going. So again, I put my finger at the bottom of the screen and I pulled up and stopped in the middle, and I see the applications that are running. And I can cancel that one. On my phone, I also have that green phone up there, and I think if I tap that, it brings up that app.
Okay. I don't think I
Okay.
have that. Okay.
That's okay. Do the other technique then. We were talking and he said, "Whoa, you took a picture of something." So I went to my photos and I'm still talking to Bill. Are you still there, Bill?
Yeah, I'm still here.
He says he's still here. Let me change it to speakerphone. If I go here and I go audio and I go speaker. Are you there, Bill?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. So I went somewhere else and I'm still speaking to Bill on the phone, but I can go to any of my other apps and do something. And the question is, how do I hang up?
Yeah, that's my
Put your
point.
finger at the bottom, pull up. You'll see the apps that are running. And then I'm going to hang up, Bill. Take care.
Okay, take it.
Thank you, Bill. Okay.
Thank you. That was a great one.
Okay.
Yeah, that is.
Of course, what if it takes you 10 minutes trying to get that up?
I've got a question, Bill. I don't know if you want to get
Turn up
into it. At
the
2 minutes,
hold on.
oh,
The
sorry.
ultimate one was turn off your phone and turn it back on again.
That's what I
But
do.
anyway.
I've done that. I do that once in a while. 'Cause
I've got
I
a
don't hear,
question.
I don't want to hear them discuss me after they think I've hung up, right?
Can't you just touch the red phone at the bottom?
Yeah, that works
Well,
if
you
you
can
have it
if you
up.
have it, but you don't have it there anymore. See, it's not
But
there.
but the other thing I thought, but I might be wrong, is on the top left-hand corner, I have a little green bar. I don't have that like Bill has in the middle. So you can hit that also, I believe, to disconnect.
I don't have that
So
either, though.
we have several ways to do it.
Yeah, that's for
Okay.
sure.
Yeah, if you
Okay.
touch that black thing on the very top where the little green phone was, if you touch that, it'll open it up and you can hang up.
Okay.
you-
Yeah, I don't have that one particular. I never seen that one. I have a little green bar to the left of the time. Yeah, right in there, and it's just a little green bar.
Yeah, it's on the model phone you have. So like I have the
Well,
same
yeah,
thing.
that's the thing.
My
Everybody's got a
green
different
bar is to the
phone,
left,
so
not in the center, because
Yeah, I
there's
have a
other stuff in
13
the center.
Pro, so I don't know. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
As long as you know where to look on your phone.
thank you. I can do one of those, I'm sure. I shouldn't say that.
Bill, I have a question, when
Uh-huh.
chance.
Go ahead.
I have to register for a class every Tuesday and Thursday at 2 minutes to 9 every week. Is there a way I can set it in my phone automatically to buzz me to do this? Because it's a nuisance. I mean, every
You mean-
morning I have to think, oh, I gotta
Wanna
set
re-
this. It's a week.
Not to actually connect you, but to just remind you to do it.
Yes, because I have to get into the class to register at 2 minutes to 9 on certain days,
Let me see if this works. I'm gonna use the reminder app.
Okay.
And so I get Siri up and I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna say, remind me at 2 minutes to 9 every Tuesday to log into class. How's that?
That's
So
great.
I'm gonna try that. Remind me every Tuesday at 8:58 a.m. to log into a class.
Okay, I've added it.
So it says it's added to reminder. So I'm going to go to my reminders now. Okay. The only thing I see there, it hasn't done a time. So what I did was I went to reminders. Okay. And there it says log into class on 6/18. But I'm going to have
Maybe
to do
it wants to
more.
know
So
which 9 o'clock, 9 a.m. or 9 p.m.
I'm sure it may. So I thought I said 9 a.m. But anyway, I tap the I and it says time there, right?
Yeah,
And so I go to the time and I'll say 8:55 a.m. So far, so good.
yep.
And then I'd repeat and I'll say repeat
Oh,
weekly.
oh, okay, great, great. I
Did you
don't have
follow
a
all that? That was a
I don't
little
have a
long, but
reminder thing icon, so I guess I have to go to the store and buy it, right?
no, reminders free.
You have it on there.
Reminders free.
Thank you,
It's an app that comes with your phone.
thank you.
Wouldn't it be the same thing to just set an alarm for that time every
You
2
could.
days
You
that you use
set
it?
an alarm on Tuesday, every Tuesday. Set an
Yeah,
alarm every Tuesday at 8:58.
so now this will tell me, it'll ring me
It's
every
even faster.
Tuesday.
Did you see?
It'll be an
Alarm Tuesday at 8:58.
That's great. Thank you so much.
I
Good one.
I have to take some medicine after supper and I set an alarm for 6:30 so that I would remember to take it. And I
Good
have it for
point.
every day, but I just use an alarm.
Good point.
quick and
Now I
easy,
have a reminder
and you
and
can't
an
miss
alarm.
it.
Now, being that we're there, my wife discovered a way to create lists in the reminders app. And then we figured out we could share that list. So what we did was we created a grocery list. So I'm walking in the kitchen and I need some more, let's say, all brand cereal. And I have you see right there, it says groceries on mine. I've created a groceries list. I could say, let me do something here. It's in the shopping list, hammer and nails. They really have done a nice job with the reminders app. Let's say we're going shopping. I have the grocery list right now, but if we were going shopping, I can say to Siri, add add t-shirts to the shopping list. And watch what she does. Add t-shirts to the shopping list.
I didn't find a shopping list. Do you want to create one?
Did you hear what she said?
I
Yes,
didn't get that. Could you try again?
Could you hear that, everybody?
yes.
Yeah.
But you
Let me
have
do
to
it
say
again.
grocery, not shopping.
I know. I'm just setting up a new list, and I'm showing you that Siri will set up a
Oh,
new list as well. So if I said add t-shirts to the shopping list,
Sorry, I can't help with that.
oh, come on. Yes, you can. Add t-shirts to the shopping list.
I didn't find a shopping list. Do you want to create one?
Yes.
mm,
Okay,
oh.
I've added it.
So she added the shopping list and I'm all set and I've got t-shirts in it already. Right? Now I did that with groceries some time ago. I said, what did I turn off Siri here? I said to Siri, add milk to the grocery list. And she said, you don't have a grocery list. I'll add, do you want one? And I said, yes. And I ended up with groceries there. right?
Oh,
And so
okay.
now, whenever I'm in the kitchen, I say, add eggs to the grocery list. Watch. Add eggs to the grocery list.
Okay, I've added it.
Add celery to the grocery list.
Okay, I've added it.
And if I go to my reminders and I look up, look at that. And then when I'm going through the store, as I'm going through the store, I just tap it and they disappear. And it tells me how many more things I have to get.
It's cool.
Then I hit the little button there. See the little face there at the top? I tapped that and I said, I want to share it with my wife. And now she can add them and I can add them, and we have one joint list between us.
Hmm.
And it's been working out wonderfully, except when I'm in the checkout line and she sends me a get apples. Anyway, but you get the idea.
Bill, I've got another question. I don't have that reminder list like you have. So I went
Don't
to
have
the Apple store to buy it for free, but it's showing me different other signals.
Okay, so if are you sure you don't have reminders, first of all?
No, I couldn't find it.
Okay, if you go to the app library, which is this, just a minute, it'll come up on the screen in a minute. So I went from right to left, and then it comes up and says app library at the top, and you tap at the top and say reminder, REM. And if you have the reminders app, it will show up there.
Yeah, it shows, yeah, it does show that like, but I couldn't find it on my screens when I was looking.
I know it may not be on one of your home screens.
So how do I get it?
On your home screen, you
Please.
press, I'm going to press reminder. I'm going to press the little app icon there. Oops, got to go back. I'm going to press and hold it. And then I'm going to move it. And your home screen shows up. And now I have it multiple times on my home screen.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
That was a good question. Any others?
Bill, I just sent you a question via text message. This is Judy Stratton.
Say again, please.
This is Judy Stratton. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I just sent you a question about how do I recover all my music that didn't transfer from my old iPhone to my brand new iPhone. I think I have it on my iMac, but it's giving me a headache, just like like you look like you're getting one.
Is this music you bought from Apple or you have got from
No,
your
it's years worth of my own personal collection that has been turned into electronic.
It only transfers the Apple Music.
Apple Music. That's what I understood after the fact. Yes.
So you have to, hook your iPhone to your computer and use the iTunes app on your computer.
Okay.
And once you do that, it's a little bit of a lengthy procedure, and I'd have to set up. Just Google it or go to YouTube even and say, how do I transfer my PC music to my iPhone?
Because I have an Apple desktop computer as well, so it's the same manufacturer. It should be easier, theoretically.
It should be, and both of them request you to plug in, I believe, plug in a cable and use the iTunes app.
Okay.
Okay, is the way
Thank
in
you
which
very
they do
much.
it. Now, be careful when you're doing it because, I have a slew of music on my computer and I didn't want it all. So I clicked the wrong button one time and I ended up, downloading 3,000 or so pieces of music. So,
Okay. So beware.
yeah, be a little cautious when you're doing it, but okay, if you had room, that's okay.
Well, we'll find out, I guess. All right, thank you.
Mhm.
I tried to connect my iPhone to my Windows computer, and it told me I needed to have Windows 11, which I have not upgraded yet, in order to be able to do that.
And you have iTunes on your,
I have
On your-
iTunes, but it would not let me connect
right,
via a cable
I
to my
understand, you have,
Windows
it
10.
connects via, it only connects via iTunes. Via iTunes. You can download iTunes onto your computer and then do it. And
I
open
have
up the
iTunes on my computer.
open up iTunes and then plug it in and see what happens. It should work.
I believe I did that, but I will try it later.
I hadn't heard they put on that kind of a block. You know, I've upgraded to Windows 11, so
I was going to, and my techie grandson said he doesn't recommend it, so I changed my mind.
okay. Any other questions?
I have one.
Go, please.
Is it better to buy a new phone from Apple or from my carrier, which happens to be Verizon?
Hmm.
Verizon was just running a special price. I don't know if it's still continuing.
I
And you
know.
can also buy a phone at Best Buy?
Yeah. What? Yes, if you, the Apple phones from the Apple store have a particular price on it. You can also buy it from Best Buy for that same or similar. It's usually that same price.
Well, my last phone I bought from Verizon.
I know. You purchased it or you purchased it with a 2-year contract.
2-year contract or 2-year payment.
And you've got to be paying for that phone somehow.
Yeah, I paid for it and it's now paid off, but
Okay.
I paid for it through Verizon. And I guess I don't know how much it was.
Yeah, you don't.
Okay.
They kind of hide that in the contract price.
It was expensive, I'm sure.
So the other issue is having it locked or unlocked. From Apple, you can be
Correct.
sure it's unlocked.
You have to own the phone to get it unlocked entirely.
Oh, that's interesting. So if somebody's still paying off their phone, they can't do that unlock thing when they go abroad.
Well, and that's what I heard, and I believe it's only for international.
Okay.
I had the
I-
experience where one of my phones was supposed to be unlocked, and I found out it wasn't when I tried to put in a foreign SIM card, a
Yep.
physical SIM card. And
But they've been, but we just heard the guy said they have to by law unlock it.
I'm
And I don't
calling them.
know-
I'm calling them after this program. I'm going to make sure.
Yeah, I have not done that, but I'd like to know the answer to that one. If you do get it unlocked, does that mean you could put any SIM card in it
Yes.
and
Yes.
stop paying that provider?
Yes. Well, I
would-
don't know
I would
that.
think
I don't
that
know
would be
that. But my phone was originally bought by AT&T, and it was a mistake by my husband. I mean, because he didn't realize what he was getting into.
Got
So
it, and he got it.
he
It
took a
was
long
locked.
time to get it well, he finally got it unlocked, but that was like months later. He had already bought another phone, so he gave me that one and told me it was unlocked. But I have a feeling that my current carrier locked it into their system, because it's supposed to be unlocked from AT&T. So we'll see. I've got to check up on it. I'll let you know.
I had an AT&T phone, and I was doing some traveling, and so I wanted to unlock it, and I had fully paid for it on the the subscription, the 2 years were up. So I ended up contacting AT&T and they were able to unlock the phone.
Mhm.
So going to the carrier, after you've paid off the cost, they'll keep it as long as you're paying on your phone until you fully paid it. But once you've fully paid it, you can contact the carrier and get it unlocked.
Hey, Bill, did they do that remotely or did you have to take it in?
They did it remotely.
Okay.
Well, you know,
So
you
what-
used to be able to buy phones that were already unlocked at
Supposedly.
Amazon. You,
If you
That's-
buy a
that's
phone
what-
that's unlocked, you're paying the price of the phone up front, so then that phone could be unlocked.
I see,
And so
okay,
the
yeah.
store, you pay the full price of the phone. If you want to schedule the payments over 2 years, they will spread the cost of that phone over the 2 years, but they'll lock it so that you can't go anywhere else until you paid it off. And then they'll never tell you that you could get it unlocked after the 2 years are up.
Okay.
The contracts are now 3 years because I just bought mine last September. And instead of having a 2-year contract, it's 3. But I did
Okay.
find out if you get it from the Apple store, you get free lessons, one-on-one free lessons if you buy the phone or iPad from them.
Good.
Thank you, Sharon.
So you said I wanted an AT&T contract and they gave you that contract, but also offered you the lessons. Is that what you're saying, Sharon? Or did you pay for the phone?
Oh, I'm paying for the phone through Verizon, but my friend bought a new iPad and she has her phone through Verizon, but she bought the iPad through the Apple store and she got to go and get lessons one-on-one because she bought it there.
The iPad.
Yes.
Okay. By the way, you can buy an iPad that either has cellular capability or does not. And I'm not sure which one she purchased. And
No
if you buy one
cellular.
that's just a regular one, okay.
Yes.
Apple has on a routine basis different lessons for camera, phone, etc. And you don't have to buy the Apple from the store.
Correct, but those are more than one student. And
Yeah.
what she was getting was a one-on-one, and she could schedule it when she took the class, then she would schedule her next one.
Oh,
And it
that
was a
sounds really
one-on-one.
good. I didn't know that. That's a good deal.
Yeah, well, that's what they told her. So
Oh, great. That's a great deal.
I guess so, yeah.
Is it unlimited classes, Sharon?
I believe it's as long as you own the product.
Okay.
And
'Cause
I would just be hesitant anymore. As I said, I've got a 3-year contract with Verizon and I'm not real happy about it. And my son is getting ready to retire and I'm on his account. And he said he's probably going to switch carriers. So that might mean I'm going to have to pay the rest of the full price. So I'm not real happy about that.
Bill, I've used that system before from Apple for the lessons or the coaching, but it only used to be for a period of time, like 6 months or something. So,
Okay.
yeah, you might want to check that out to make sure you get what you want in whatever time period they're giving you.
But you could go in every day.
I don't know that today. I
Okay.
could have.
Well, that makes sense that they would limit it. Like some of
Any
us,
other
we've been going for years.
If
Yeah,
we have a
any other-
particular question, you can always go into the Apple store and they can answer that.
Sure.
And I'll tell you, here's an interesting one, is my calendar was shut off going forward, totally shut off. So I went in, Googled it, and I did all the specifications and turn it off, turn it on, and it still wouldn't work. So I went into the Apple store, and they usually have a limiting person or people in front to kind of direct you. So what he did was before he sent me to the Genius Bar, he went into the Apple blog store, the Apple blog, and he found that there was a bug, and you had to turn off. I don't know what it had to turn off, but maybe the same thing I did. Turn it off, then turn the whole phone off, and then highlight it again and turn that section back on, and it worked fine. So that you would never, ever, ever by yourself find that out, at least for myself.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, it was and he just happened to find it. It was on the top of the blog, and it was just a recent update, and that was a bug, a very rare bug. But anyway, he found it, and I got my calendars back.
That can be frustrating. Okay. Any other questions so far? Let's do some easy ones. You're in a situation where you need to flip a coin and you don't have a coin anymore. Usually we don't carry them. You can say, Siri, flip a coin.
Tails.
And it says tails. Siri, flip a coin.
Heads.
Get the idea? You can record with your phone, right? You can turn it into a recording device. There's an app called Voice Memo. Open Voice Memo. And there I've opened my voice memo, and I use Siri to do it. You don't have the Voice Memo app. Let's find it here. So you know what it looks like.
You opened it in mine too.
Okay, I'm going to it right now. Hold on. See it on the center of your screen? Looks like that. So there's a bunch of them if you go to the App Store, but get one that looks like that one. And by that, I mean,
You can also find that in the control panel.
it may be in the control panel, not
And then
necessarily.
you can highlight it and put it on your home screen.
Understand. I'm just saying.
I think, I don't know.
Yeah. It may be on your control panel. So if you went down, do I have it on here? Yep, right there it is, right there. So that question brings up the other one is how do you get it on your control panel if you don't have it? I'm going to click on it just so you know what it looks like. And then you hit the red button and it's recording whatever it's hearing. So you could, if you're having a phone conversation, you could put it on speakerphone and actually record the phone. Legally, you're supposed to tell the person you're recording it. Okay? How do you get that on the control panel? Control panel you get to by sweeping down from the top right, right? And if I go to settings and control panel, here are the apps that are in my control center. The bottom list is the ones that are not. So if you don't have it there, let's see where mine is.
Next to the last.
I know, saw it. There it is. If I hit the minus sign, I can remove it. So I just removed it from the control panel. It's still on my phone. and it's listed down at the bottom of the list. And if I hit the plus sign there, it adds it to the top. While they're there, I have another one. If you, for some reason, you want to record your screen actions, in other words, you want to record a video of what you do with your phone. So I might use it to create a demonstration of how do I initiate the voice how do I get the voice memo from the Apple Store? So I would tap that app. That's this one right here. Okay, and now if I exit and I go to the Apple Store, and I would be now doing the demo. So I'd go to the Apple Store somewhere, right? And I'd say voice memo. And there it is. Whoops, down here it is. The one that says open, that's the one that I want to get. Not the voice recorder. And I would tap it, which would open it, and then I could do recordings. Then I can go back to here and end the video. And the question I would be asked is, it says your recording saved in photos. That's where it's saved. So if I go to my photos, I have recorded okay, and it's showing you what I'm doing. Now I would have to be explaining this. I guess it did not pick up my voice as well. Wait a minute. I'm not sure if it picked up the voice or not because of all the other things I'm doing right now. All right.
Does that record
So
video and voice?
that's what I was checking. It's recording the video, but I'm not sure it's getting the voice, and it may not be, you may not be hearing it, and I might not be hearing it because of what else I'm doing with the phone, like projecting it to my computer, and then you can see what I'm doing. So I would have to, you could try it without all the stuff I've got going on. And I would think it would be getting my voice as well.
I had a couple of questions.
Go ahead, please.
I had a class last week, and one of them was fairly easy. I just thought I'd pass it along. I had somebody that was complaining that it was either his phone or his watch were playing a lullaby sound about 45 minutes before he typically went to bed. But he said he never turned it on and never set it up and didn't know how to shut it off. And I went into the watch, and he did in fact have a sleep time and wake time set with to do that. So we just shut it off, and because he didn't want it. But I think when he bought his watch in the store, they set it up for him, and he didn't realize it had been done. The second question I had was,
wait a minute. How did you turn it off?
If you go into the I think it was
Watch
in
app
the,
settings.
yeah, actually it was in the health app, I believe.
Health? Did you say health? Like
Health and then sleep.
Go to the health app. Hold on. And then sleep. I don't think it'd be here. I think
No, it
it's
wasn't.
more in,
I have to stop and think what I did last week on that one.
I'll bet it has to do with the clock. I bet you went to
I
the
think so.
clock.
It might have been
You
under a
passed
lot.
sleep was there on your screen.
I know, but that's just. That's just, oh, in the health app, you mean? It was,
Yes.
yeah, but that's just telling you what you've done in sleep. The control for that is under clock.
Okay.
And alarms. But I don't see a way to do something prior to going to sleep.
What I would like to have is a soothing sounds coming from your phone, but I wanted to turn it off at a particular time. Let's say I'm going to bed at 10 o'clock. I want it off by 11.
Boy, that happens to be my next thing here, I think.
Oh, that's your next program or your next answer?
Hold on. Transform your phone into a white noise machine.
Right. But you wanted to turn it off after.
After a given amount of time.
Yes, that's
Yes?
correct.
Where do I'll find that one. Okay, use your iPhone playlist as a sleep aid. Have you ever wanted to fall asleep to your favorite playlist, but didn't want it to be running all night long to run down your battery? The iPhone now has a sleep timer that lets you turn off your music at a chosen and choose a specific amount of time you want the music to play. Simply go to the clock app. So I'm going to go to the clock app. That's what this guy is. Tap the timer option, and that's the one here at the bottom. And choose a specific amount of time you want the music to play. So if I want it to play for 5 minutes, right? Scroll all the way to the bottom. Whoops, I don't think I tapped the right thing there. Hold on. Go to the clock app, tap the timer option on the bottom right corner of the screen and choose a specific amount of time you want to play. Next, tap on the option for when timer ends. Boom. And then scroll down, it says stop playing. Now you can go ahead and so I stop that. And then all you have left to do is start your music, basically. If you tap set in the upper right-hand corner. Okay, so now it's running and it's going to stop playing in 5 minutes.
Bill, will that work with an audiobook too? I know
Yes.
Audible has their own setting, but I get my audiobooks from the library and use Libby. Would this timer stop it in 10 minutes?
I think it would, but try it, do it for 1 minute or 30 seconds and start your audiobook and see if it stops in 30 seconds.
All right, give it a try.
I use Cloud Library, and that's the way I go to bed most nights. And it's in the Cloud Library app. It's a little round timer thing on the top, and it gives you option as to how long you want it to play. And sometimes I do a half hour and I never hear the end of it. So then I have to go back and listen to the half hour again because I didn't know where I fell asleep.
That would happen to me most nights.
Yeah. Bill, I
Is
found
that
the
on the
thing that I
app
was looking
itself?
for.
Pardon me?
Is that on the app itself?
That is
Yeah,
on
that's
the
what-
Cloud Library app, which is a free program, and you need a library card, and you have access to all the library audio and books, ebooks, audiobooks.
Thank you. I'll try that out.
Bill, I found the alarm. It was in the health settings under sleep, and then down at the very bottom, it said, you go to the health setting and then go to sleep.
My watch
No, just
Oh,
on
go to health.
the health of their phone.
on the phone? Okay, let me go to health here.
Well, I have to tell you, I tried it. I got an alarm. That wouldn't put you to sleep. That wouldn't work. You have to stop.
Better wake you up, wake you back up.
Did you
Didn't
clear the
work.
bottom? You went clear the bottom and said end?
It didn't say end, it made the alarm. It's a timer, so it
Thank
made
you.
an alarm. The time was
I
up.
think you missed the point there. Let me go to.
That was
You
too
don't have
funny.
sleep
gotta
in
go
your
down here.
favorite, so go
Let me-
to show all health.
Go
data.
down. Where's sleep? I think I went by it.
Oh, there it.
Oh,
I don't think you have it as one that you watch, so go
there's
to
sleep.
all health.
I did, but now I'm on
Go to
sleep
sleep.
here.
Now go down to the bottom of that screen,
Okay,
and it should have your schedule. Back up.
right.
You gotta go back up to the top. You went by it. It's your schedule.
Okay. And then edit.
Yeah,
I got
right there.
schedule and then edit.
And at the bottom, you have an alarm option.
Ah. But that's for snoozing.
Oh, you have there's two different things. One is for an alarm, and then the one below it is allowing you a snooze if you want it.
Correct. But he's talking about it gives you a half hour before you go to play at bed. It plays
Yeah,
a
that seems to
lullaby.
be standard. When you have the alarm on, or when I have the sleep timer on,
Yeah.
I have the time set. And so I just shut off the having a scheduled time. So there was
Okay.
no, that seemed to solve the problem.
Okay. We had another comment about the timers here. What was that one?
What?
Don't remember.
The sleep
Well, it was
timer
Donna,
that
and
I
did
use
try-
is
I did try the play my audiobook and I used timer and you could hear the alarm go off. I mean, it didn't, so that wouldn't
Well,
help
but-
you.
But
the
we went to
timer in
cloud.
the Cloud Library app does not
Yeah, but that,
go off. There is no sound. It just stops the audio. There is no
Okay,
alarm.
but if my book is through Libby in the library, it's a different system.
yeah, I got you.
I also have
You want-
Libby, but I don't have any books there. But I would think
Okay.
it would be the same. It's not an alarm, it's a stop.
Yeah, there's no
No.
stop in Libby.
Just a minute, hold it, please.
Okay,
If you have the clock and we're using that to set an alarm, and let me do it in 5 seconds. I have to be playing a sound. It says stop playing, right? In other words, I could have it make a sound like that, or if I tap stop playing and I scroll clear to the bottom where it says stop playing, okay, that's what you missed. So
okay,
you
so,
tap stop playing, so whatever's playing should stop.
and is this still in the timer or is this back in settings to change that
I'm
noise?
back in, I'm in timer. I'm
You're
in
still in
timer.
timer.
Let me make it for 15 seconds. Okay, and I want it to stop playing. And then I'm gonna say, play John Denver. See if it stops in a couple seconds. And it did.
Huh.
Okay.
All right.
Can we
I'll
use
give it a
that
shot.
to override Libby, like the other lady said?
I don't know. That would you'd have to try.
Okay. Sounds like a program.
Sounds like an idea.
Keeps me
You have a
off the
wonderful
street.
you have a wonderful little app on your phones called Magnifier. If you're on your lock screen, I think you can get to the magnifier by shifting from right to left, like that. But that's to take a picture. So that's not what I was after. I'll get by my lock screen here. I'm back on my home screen and I go to the control center. Wait for the screen in front of you to catch up here. I'm going to the control center. There's my home screen and then the control center. And in my control center, I have a little icon that looks like the magnifying glass. You're in a low light situation, you're trying to read the menu at a restaurant, in any kind of low light situation where you have to read something, you can turn on the magnifier. This is slightly different than the camera.
I can't afford to let myself get sidetracked by maybes. I need to find these Amanda before. Before what? Her father interjected, sensing her head.
Okay, now I'm going to hold my camera up here and I can either take a picture of it by hitting this button, or I can zoom in on a moving picture, because if I'm holding the camera, it's not steady. And if I try to zoom in using this button here, like so, see how it's shaking? I'm going to zoom back out again, and I'm going to take a picture of the page. Now I can zoom in and move around to any portion of the text I wish. Right? And there's access to your magnifying glass. How you get
And
to it.
Bill, it works with Libby.
It does work with Libby?
It worked with Libby. I said it and just stopped. It stopped. Perfect. Thank you. That's great.
Wonderful, wonderful. Okay. You also have the flashlight on that screen. So you can tap the flashlight, I think. Oh, I have to go back to camera. So if I tap the camera button here, it takes a picture. And that button turns into an X. Well, I don't want what's the filet mignon. I want to see what's down below there. So I turn off the picture and I'm back to camera, and I can turn on the flashlight and get more light on the situation. Okay. Wonderful little app. It's just available for us to use anytime we want.
I have a question.
Oh, please.
When my daughter has an Android and she has set up her camera to take a picture when she says smile. She doesn't have to, she doesn't have to hit the button or anything. She just says the word smile and it'll count down, I think, 3 seconds and take a picture. Is there anything like that available on an Apple?
Let's see. There's a shutter timer we can do, but we do know when you bring up the camera, okay, I'm on the camera now. I can tap the little lightning bolt up here. Well, I'm sorry. I can tap the little arrow that's here. And I think there's a timer here somewhere. There it is. You can tap the timer and give yourself 3 seconds.
That's correct, but she just doesn't even have to
hear you.
open the app at all. She just, well, she opens her camera and then
Fine.
says smile.
Bill,
See
can
what
you add a
happens.
shortcut in Siri so that if you give it a command, it will do what you want it to do?
Probably. Smile.
Here are matches for smile.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know a way to do that. And we should have a class sometime in the future on shortcuts. All right,
I have a problem question.
go.
For some reason, I have in the past not gotten texts from some people. And I think it has something to do with, where's my guy here? With, um, with Wi-Fi on or off. With data.
It's from an Android person.
No. Oh, maybe that could be it too. No, from an Apple person. And I don't know what the answer was that I had. Let's see.
Yeah, that's a new one. I haven't heard that. The other thing is they could be blocked.
No, I think I returned on cellular data, but I have cellular data off because I'm on a plan. I don't need cellular data going
Yeah.
around the area for notifications, et cetera. So I have that turned off.
Well, if you're out of range of a Wi-Fi, then you wouldn't get the message, but that's still.
I was
gonna go
within,
anyway.
you know, like I said, I have a problem. I don't know what the problem is. I can't really just explain it. And so the only thing that I was thinking that it was, I think I tried my Wi-Fi turned off. I turned it back on. And since my phone is hooked up to the Wi-Fi when I'm home, maybe that was the problem. In other words, going backwards here, since I'm already hooked up to Wi-Fi at the house, it's not going to be searching the tower. It overrides it. But if I'm out and around, it'll search the tower.
It'll search the tower. That's correct.
My train of thought. And no, I don't know the answer. That's the reason I'm asking.
Yeah.
Just thoughts.
Cellular turned off and you're out and about, you won't get it.
Cellular, when I'm turned off, it'll bounce off the towers from the
No,
phone.
if you turn off cellular, you won't get anything off the towers.
Even
It's
telephone voice.
Yeah. Yes. unless you're on Wi-Fi.
So I thought you didn't need cellular with your telephone.
I bel-
See, I don't know
On
what
my
I'm
other-
talking about, but this is what
on the
I
other
thought, and what I
computer can
thought
help me
no
with
are two
that.
different things.
But if I turn cellular off here, I don't think you can, unless I have Wi-Fi turned on and I'm on a Wi-Fi network, I can't get it. In other words, I have Wi-Fi calling on
Yes, that's what
and
I
I
have.
and I turn off cellular. I'll only get the phone call if I'm on a cellular network.
That's correct.
Right.
And so that's what exactly what I'm saying. If you're out and about, then I'm gonna get through the towers, cellular towers.
If you have cellular turned off, you will.
Okay, now I can see. I don't know what I'm talking about. Typical.
Bill, you said you have cellular off and then you went blank.
Well,
I'm
that's
blank
that.
right-
I thought that was cellular data, which is different than phone calls.
The main
That is-
cellular on the front of your settings is both data and phone.
Right.
And you have an option to shut data off, but data will also be text messaging.
I'm
Oh,
sorry.
data is text messaging. I follow you.
Yep.
Now,
And it
there's
seems
another-
also when I'm going to go back in and check my usage, and I don't think it uses much data at all. But I'll have to
No.
check that. I don't know what I'm talking about there either. So
It
that
won't
was
use
my
much
next
data,
thought.
but yeah. The other thing
If
it
you
could
have-
be is that with Android, you the messages go by SMS, not the Apple texting. So you have
Okay.
to have SMS turned on in settings under messages.
Did you follow that one?
Yeah, I did, and I'll have to go check on that. See what was happening with that.
I'm sorry. Yeah, cellular data is messages and emails and internet.
And the internet. Okay, that's exactly what yes. But if I'm on
Okay.
Wi-Fi, well, you have to have the Wi-Fi turned on. If you have the Wi-Fi turned on, then you have cellular data turned on.
They're separate.
Okay.
Yep,
Not
I see. That's
necessarily.
it, turn it on.
What's your, I always think of it this way. If you're on, your phone will always find the cheapest way to do something. So if you have Wi-Fi turned on over here, there's Wi-Fi. If I turned off Wi-Fi, I would only be able to get cellular information.
Right.
Right? If I turned off cellular data from the cell phone and I was out and about and not on a Wi-Fi network, I wouldn't get the texts. I wouldn't get
Right.
any data. I would still be able to make phone calls.
Right.
Your phone, if you walk into your house, will automatically switch to Wi-Fi. So the data will be coming from Wi-Fi. Is that true on Wi-Fi calling as well? I don't know. That's my other experts here. Anybody help me with that one?
Well, if you're on Wi-Fi calling, then the call and you have both cellular and Wi-Fi turned on, it will go to Wi-Fi.
It
Because
will always make. Okay.
I ran into a problem one time where I was on a very weak Wi-Fi network and the call wasn't going through, but the phone wouldn't shift over to cellular, so I had to shut Wi-Fi off to make it. But I was in a place that I only had a very limited Wi-Fi.
Super. That's a good answer, William. Thank you.
So maybe that was a problem too. My Wi-Fi wasn't quite up to snuff at that particular second. Anyway.
Any other questions?
I have another one that is not germane to just the iPhone. In fact, I know I've gotten my email has gotten hacked, and I'm getting all these different emails with my name, but the address is totally different, like 1239095 at Comcast.net, but it comes up with my name. Are you following me with that?
Yeah.
So I'm going to, I don't think, I think I'm just saying that I have to go change my, well, I think that email has been hacked, and that'll always happen now. If I go in and change my, my passcode, my password, then that won't delete, that will not stop those types of emails from coming, will it not?
Correct.
Okay, so it's that email is out there, and we're still going to get it. Change my password, and then my email now is secure again for the my right this second, but before it's not. Anyway, not a
Can
problem.
just a minute. Can they, I'll ask my other two guys again. Can they make that name that shows up be anything? At the, from, I'm an idiot? Can it
Yeah,
say I'm an
yes.
idiot? Be some other
Yeah,
address, really?
The email, the description on the first of the email is not, is something that they can change. I've had emails from myself that were spam. And
Yeah.
so,
And so-
but if you touch on the mail, it'll tell you what the real address is, and it's usually something phony.
And you don't need
That's
to change
exactly
your,
what I have. Exactly.
right, you don't need to change your email or password. That's not what caused that.
Yes, that my password has gone. My email, that email with that particular password is out there. So what I have to do to re-secure my email is now make a new password for it, give it a new password. Then
Is that
going
true?
forward, my emails are secure.
I don't know if that's true or not. That makes any difference in what they hacked.
Well, what they've already hacked, they have that list already, and so it doesn't really matter. I think what the important thing is, I need to go in and change my password for sure. It was just a kind of a query question.
It's not a
I
bad
don't
idea.
think
Change
it's a
your
good idea to
password.
update your password, but I don't think that's going to solve your problem.
Correct.
That's what I thought too, because that particular password or that email is out there already. You know, they can continue using it because because whatever they're doing. But going forward, then I need to change. I will change my password, and anything going forward, it's not hackable until somebody hacks it again.
I think what we're trying to tell you is they didn't hack your password to do that. Is that correct, Bill?
Yeah. What happens is they've got their own email address. They're phoning up the email address to look like it's from you.
Yes.
And or I get them from Amazon, I get them from banks, and I even got it from a town locally here. But they've got their own email address, so they haven't got into my email, but they phonied up the name so that it looks just like it's from me. And so all they
Okay,
needed
so
was,
in other words, they phoned it up, and so it's not really from my email. They just happen to find it, and they phoned it up, whatever they do. Is that correct?
right. Yes. And if you are on the Apple Mail and you touch the email address that you got there, it will display what is the underpinning email address. And I've had them from foreign countries, and I've had them from all over.
Yeah, mine happens to be come from Comcast, which is my other carrier. I have a iCloud account and a Comcast account, so it came from Comcast.
All right.
Which
Comcast is, yeah, but Comcast is your provider, right?
yes.
So what I'm explaining a little differently is that they may or may not have a Comcast account. If you get that email message, you can touch on the message at the top and it will tell you what the underlying email is.
Yeah, the underlying from what I remember, the underlying email is blah 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 at Comcast.net.
Okay, if the underlying is Comcast, then they happen to have a Comcast account. That's all. That would be
Okay,
using
and
the
there, but
Comcast
my
mail
name comes
server.
up as the ID, the ID name is my name comes up. You highlight that and it's blah, blah, blah at Comcast.net. It's not my
Correct.
address.
So they've taken their own Comcast gobbledygook, if you will, for an address. And then they've faked it out to be your name.
Right.
And they do that a lot if they hack somebody's email and they get a long list of emails, they'll want to make it look like it came from the person that they got the list from, even though it's not. And I've had text messages that say, I'm traveling, can you buy a gift card for me to send to somebody?
Right.
And those are all spam, but they're a way to get around it.
So two questions then. Did they get it? Did they hack my email then to get that?
No,
don't have to.
Okay. And interesting enough, I'll have two exactly the same get this gift from Kohl's, and I'll have that same one back to back, and it will come from different blah 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 at Comcast.net, but still for me it's interesting. So they have two or three different names.
what Bill's suggesting is, look at the screen that's up there.
Yeah.
See where it says Tech for Seniors right here?
Yeah.
If you tap Text for Seniors, and you may have to tap it twice, but it'll come up, and here's the address where it's really coming from.
Yes. That's exactly what I have. In the first part where it text for senior, it has a whole different name, not my name. And like I said, just not important, but I'll have the same one from Tech from Seniors, and it'll have two different one email, then the following email, it'll have a different name that's coming from. Interesting. I don't know.
Yep.
Just
Yep.
interest of
interest,
interest, not a problem.
Okay.
Okay, thanks guys for that.
Yeah. A priest, a minister, and a rabbi went to see who could do the best job. So they each go into the woods and they find a bear and attempt to convert them. Later they get back together. The priest begins, when I found a bear, I read him from the catechism, sprinkled him with holy water. Next week is his confirmation. I found, the minister says, I found a bear by the stream. Preached God's word, holy word. The bear was so mesmerized that he let me baptize him. They both looked down at the rabbi, who was lying in a gurney in a cast. Looking back, he says, maybe I should not have started with circumcision. All right.
That's a good one.
All right, everybody. Take care. Have a good week, and I'll make sure the people who I neglected to send the invitation to, I'll send them the video. All right. Take
Thank
care,
you.
everyone. Have a good week.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bill.
Thank you, Bill.
Bill.
Bye-bye now.